Choose freedom, choose adventure, choose leisure.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Choose Leisure Motorhome channel. My name's Dawn and I'm one of the handover technicians here at Choose Leisure Motorhomes in Canterbury and Kent. And today I'm with the lovely Mike and Kim Bartlett with the lovely dog Harry, who's decided to kind of have a snooze here, just to kind of introduce you from the customer perspective as to what it is that Choose Leisure do and how you get on with us, really. Well, first up then, guys, so what is it that made you choose motorhoming as your kind of go-to holiday, hobby?
Well, I mean, this answer goes way back to soggy, windswept campsites in the Lake District with fragile tents and a couple of wet dogs who, as we all know, get a bit smelly once they get wet. Bless him. And for years we did a lot of camping and sort of trekked around. Then we progressed to a caravan. And we thought, oh, this is wonderful. You know, it's, luxury. And we even had heating in it, which was a great thing to have. And then we actually moved away. We started doing the package holiday thing for many years, traveling around Europe and going to the States and far and wide, really. But after a while, we got fed up with airports, we got fed up with queuing, we got fed up with delays, we got fed up with being pushed and shoved and not being able to put our baggage anywhere. So after a while, we thought, let's look at going back to a caravan. And then we started looking at motorhomes. And then we came along here and just had a little look round. And that's really how we got into it. We thought, these are great, very comfortable, very sort of manoeuvrable and everything else. A lot easier than a caravan, I have to say, because, we can arrive on a site and pitch up in literally 5 minutes and have the kettle on.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful, really. So that's where we that's our progressive route into motorhoming, and I have to say we wouldn't go back. We wouldn't go anywhere else. Yeah.
So what is it that what was the attraction that brought you to Choose Leisure that gets you keep coming back to us year after year?
Well, I think, we used to live in Kent and lovely place to live, and of course we had Choose Leisure, which was a short drive away, and we visited some other dealerships, but many of them have got this attitude that they're doing you a favour. When you arrive, you get sort of, oh well, they're over there and go and look at this and that. From the day we arrived here at Choose Leisure, we were treated in a way I can only describe as being the best dealership I've ever dealt with.
Well, that's lovely to hear. Thank you very much.
It's true, though. It is true. Nobody was giving us any sort of pressure. We were just told, go and have a look, have a wander around. I mean, quite honestly, we sold the motorhome to ourselves. It wasn't the salesmanship of anyone here. We saw what we liked. We were given all the information we required, and we made a purchase. And really, we were addicted at that point. Once we'd been using it a few times. Unfortunately, we also had to contend with lockdown that came along. So it was a bit frustrating, but we got out and enjoyed it.
I enjoy coming to Choose Leisure because we always feel welcomed. There's no hard sell, and everyone is just so nice.
Plus, and the other reason, I mean, we moved to Norfolk, and we were on a site, actually. We had a conversation with a chap, and he'd driven up from the Isle of Wight to come to Choose Leisure to get his van serviced. And so I said to him, why do you go all this way? And he said, because quite honestly, I don't trust anyone else. And having gone along to some dealerships local to where we are now, again, it's the same attitude that prevails. You're going in there and it's a stand over there, we'll be with you in a minute. And what is it you want? Oh, well, we can't do that now. And you come to Choose Leisure and it's the exact opposite. So this is why we're happy to make the journey down here. Plus, it's good because we can go via the channel ports and we can often stop off and get things done. So it suits us to a T, really.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's really lovely to hear. Thank you very much for that. What about the after sales? How do you find, because anyone that's looking to perhaps go into this, they're not just going to be looking at the sales side of things, they might be looking at the after sales side of things. As you've come back to us, and of course you're our regular customers, what would you say to someone that's interested in that to come to us and what they could expect?
Well, I think, they won't do badly at all coming here. One is you've got a very good range of motorhomes. I mean, some places we go to, they've only got 2 or 3. You've got a good range. You've all got the right attitude. Your pricing is very good as well, compared with some places we've been. And there are some dealerships that I can mention. One we stopped off at in the Midlands, whose prices were through the roof. We couldn't believe how expensive they were compared to your prices. And I think overall it's a little bit like coming home. You feel like you're coming to see some relatives that you really like, and that nobody's going to have you over. I mean, that's the big thing these days. A lot of people are very wary of being scammed and so forth. So I think, this is one of the reasons.
And if we phone up, we know we're going to get a phone call back. The communication is excellent. You're not going to be hanging on for 2-3 days before someone gets back to you for any query that we've had. So, yeah, outstanding.
And, of course, we all love to see Harry.
Of course.
Yeah. Even though
he likes coming in here.
Even though he's fast asleep.
So, what is your favourite thing about motorhoming? What makes you just fall in love with it and want to do it again and again and again and go to all these wonderful places?
Well, I think the answer to this is full of F's, actually. First of all, flexibility, because it enables you to explore. It enables you to arrive on a site, which may be sort of totally unplanned, that you just happen to be coming along the road and found a nice place to stop. But it also enables you, if you hear of something else that's going on in the nearby neighbourhood, a festival, for example, or somewhere to go and look at, you can move on quite quickly. You haven't got to spend ages packing up. You can drive away and go and see it. And there are occasions, obviously, when you do arrive on a site which probably isn't up to your expectation, and you want to move on and find somewhere that may be a bit nicer. Equally as well, you've got the motorhomes network, and particularly abroad, when you meet other Brits, they'll often tell you, "Oh, there's a great site at so and so," or you should go here, or go and have a look at the beach at such and such. And that is something we tend to do. Maybe we're a bit gullible. We take people on face value, but they will often tell us, and we've had some great times and found some great places simply just speaking to people. So I think, that's the first thing, is the flexibility. And quite honestly, it's fun. It really is fun. And the reason it's fun is because it's not too much aggro. Everything is fairly easy to set up, to do, to run the motorhome. And because that's easy, you can relax and enjoy yourself, which is good. And the other thing is freedom. The freedom, as I said earlier, to get away from airport queues and being sort of corralled, almost like you're in cattle trucks sometimes. You've got your own space, and you can be driving on the road, and maybe the traffic gets a bit heavy, so you can pull into a lay-by, put the kettle on, wait for it all to disappear, move on. I think those 3 F's are very important, but the freedom aspect is really important. It's just this lovely feeling of, where should we go today? What should we go and see? Love it.
So the idea of just being able to put a pin in the map and say we're going to go there today and see what it looks like.
Yeah, that's right.
And if it's no good, just move on.
If we don't want to go back home. That's the best bit.
Yeah.
Being retired as well helps.
Yeah, I mean, that's right.
Yeah, you're not on such a time scale. That's already a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah. And I suppose the freedom that you can take Harry with you as well, which is not so easy to do if you're going to get on maybe a train or perhaps a plane or,
He's easy. The animal health certificate, we can go. It's a one-off, one trip. But he's been to 13 different countries, including the top of Norway, and he's been whale watching with us in Norway. And we had a motorhome on the edge of the beach there. We watched the midnight sun, and he was with us all the time. Absolutely fabulous. And coming here to get the motorhome service, we've celebrated his 100th campsite at Canterbury. And he's 2 next month, so that's not too bad for a young dog.
That's well travelled for a 2-year-old.
And he's always welcome here at Choose Leisure, and he loves coming here, as you saw.
Yes, he does. We love having him as well. Yeah, he's always very fondly remembered. And when we do get the postcards and everything from these guys to let us know of Harry's travels, do you think Harry's got a particular favourite travel that he's been on recently? What kind of adventures has Harry been on recently?
Oh, wow. When we were in Germany, we went up to the Eagle's Nest. So he had 3 buses he was on, and that awful lift in the Eagle's Nest where he had to sit on my shoulder, literally. He's been on steam trains, ordinary trains. We've had a train down the Rhine. We've had a boat trip down the Rhine with him.
No wonder he's having a snooze today. He's having a bit of a chill out.
He's exhausted. Yeah, he just loves any travel, providing he's with us. As soon as we start packing up the motorhome, he sits in the passenger seat and he will not get out until we're on the road. So it could be 2 days he's in there.
So he loves it obviously as much as you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he does. And also, it's very easy. Many sites are very pleased to take dogs. Many pubs and pub stops, they're happy to take dogs. They're dog friendly. And even now, some of the sort of stately homes and things are opening up and allowing dogs in and things. It's nice to have a dog along because he certainly enjoys it. He enjoys meeting people and enjoys meeting other dogs and things. He has a great time.
I understand he's got quite a singing voice.
Yes.
He's a bit of a howler when the music gets going.
Harry,
I understand.
Howling Harry.
Yeah.
Any trumpets, brass band, the one show, mastermind, he howls. It's a Border Terrier trait, but I think he surpasses the trait. He's just goes into overload.
we nearly brought a parade in Bruges to a standstill because they were having this particular day. I think it was All Saints Day, and they were coming along the road, and they had a brass band playing. And he sat on the curb and decided he was going to join in and started howling. Well, all the musicians couldn't play their instruments for laughing so much. So we thought we better disappear down a side street before we get arrested or something. But yeah, he does like a brass band.
Oh, bless him.
Freedom, choose adventure, choose leisure.
Welcome back to the
So finally, what advice would you give? What would you tell someone that may be a little bit on the fence, that's unknowing whether or not motorhome is for them? How did you feel when you were going from your caravan into motorhoming and you were a bit unsure about where is this the right choice? Because it's quite a big investment. It's quite a big choice to make. So have you got any advice of what you'd give to other people that may be thinking, is this for me?
One of the things that I should point out is we were the people sitting on the fence. There were a number of things we were thinking about, one of which was the cost. And what we discovered pretty early on was how good motorhomes are at keeping their value. I mean, overall now, we're on our 3rd motorhome. And frankly, I wouldn't say we've lost a huge amount of money at all. Probably more or less about the same as if you change your car every few years, because they do hold their value, and of course you offset that with the price of the actual holiday that you may go on. I mean, if you go abroad now and stay in a reasonable hotel, it's not cheap.
No.
So we were the people on the fence. So I would say that, come along, have a look, sit in one, get a feel for it, talk to people, and talk to other owners as well, people who've got motorhomes, see what they think. I mean, there are very few people that I've ever met who've got motorhomes who actually say, we don't like this. It's the opposite. They love it. But yeah, do your homework, have a look, talk to people, and I don't think you go far wrong.
Have a look at the layouts. There's so many different layouts. We're on our third, and it's the best layout for us. Everyone's got their own individual layout and the ideals that they have in mind. And our motorhome now is perfect. So choose the layout and take your time. Come to Choose Leisure, where you've got such a vast range of motorhomes here to have a look at, and just come and have a look. Absolutely fabulous.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for sitting with us and having a chat and answering these questions, and for your time. And we'll like to see you again in the future.
Pleasure.
We'll be sending more
We enjoyed it.
postcards.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'd love to hear more about Harry and your adventures, of course. And always happy to see you.
Right.
Okay.